everyone. Welcome back to the Bunk and Pick podcast. Pick here.
Hey, we got the bunk.
Oh, God. We
Thanksgiving.
are on Thanksgiving week.
It's Thanksgiving week.
Why did you were a gobble at me?
You got a gobbly. Great googly gook.
That was a great googly moo indeed, my friend.
I liked it. Thanksgiving week. Here we are recording. And man, we're going to have some cool stuff to talk about because some teams I absolutely freaking hate in college football got beat. Good stuff there.
Yeah, a lot of them.
First, before we do that, got to talk about the massive waste of my money that I did this time. I haven't been buying sports cards, as you and I have talked. And then that friggin' Golden guy came out with that shit that said you can pay your kids' tuition and retire if you get this one card out of Topps Chrome Update. And I couldn't resist. I went over, I bought a box for, God dang, what are they? Close to $200 or something. Some ridiculous amount. And I literally got the shit cards. I looked them up. I believe the cards I got that aren't just base, no, I'm not joking. I don't think they're worth $15 combined. I know. I got some auto.
Be surprised.
I got an auto of some guy I've never heard of on friggin' Reds. I don't know who he is. I got some other stuff. I looked them up. I only got like 5 cards that weren't base, and I don't even think it's 15 because the auto is worth like it was going for like 5. I mean that's a friggin' rookie auto, $5. The other ones are I'm gonna say $10. I lost all that. Well, I don't even know his name. Didn't bother.
Well, you gotta know the name. Come on.
I don't know the name. I looked him up once and I was done. So I saw how friggin' little he was worth. I was done with him. I was so mad at myself because I said I wouldn't do that anymore. And I did it. And I also picked up another box of Allen and Gitnerwells over there too. And that was a friggin' waste. Do you know what cards they have in their pick? Can I tell you the cards that are in that thing?
Did you get like the weird birds again this time?
X-rays of birds at the zoo. Can you believe that shit? They're friggin' X-rays of friggin' animals at a zoo. The hell was that? Come on, man.
You see their bones and everything?
It's an X-ray. It's like a black and white. It's just like an X-ray, but it's on a card. And I was like, you gotta be shitting me. I just paid combined, I paid almost $300 for that shit, all of them. And I got X-rays of birds and some dude I never heard of.
X-rays of birds is great. Singers.
It's ridiculous, man. But so there was my waste of money. And I said I wouldn't do it again. I probably will do it again at some point in my life.
Yeah, you will. We both know
I know I'll do it, but I'm really pissed at myself. I could have used that money for anything, literally anything else. It would have been more worthwhile.
Hey, on the sports card topic, I won a free giveaway, my friend.
Who'd you win?
Sedane Rafaela.
Okay.
For Boston, Gem Mint 10 Holiday Chrome, my friend.
Wow.
It's worth more than both of those boxes you just did.
No, it isn't. Free. Is it?
Yes, it is.
How much is it worth? It's worth
it's like $30 or $40. It's a Gem Mint 10 graded
Holy
PSA
crap,
card.
Man. That's messed up. And you got it for free?
Free.
Oh,
shout
great.
out to Black Gold Sports Cards.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Well, I need the black gold something because that's friggin' ridiculous. That was $300 some that left and went to my good friend over there, Walt. Walt took my money. Didn't even worry about it.
This much, my friend.
I know. Walt happily took it and sent me on my way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quick slap on the butt, sent you out the door.
Yeah, good luck to you, sir. And get out. Get. All right. That was my big news. That was my big news.
Well, here's my big news, and you're part of this news. Holy crap, do I feel old now after trying to move 2 things from one house to an apartment. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I was sore as shit after moving a couch.
Yes.
Nothing tells you you're old.
Hey, the only good thing is we had your teenage son help because that was awesome. I will say, and both your sons helped us. If it hadn't been for them two, I'm going to be honest, wouldn't have happened.
There was no way we would have done it.
Couches and stairs don't mix, man. That sucks. But we did it. Well, you guys did it mostly. I kind of watched.
There was absolutely no way that me and you would have got the 4-wheeler onto a trailer.
No, we did. We got the Polaris. I had a Polaris that was in storage, and I decided, it's been there for freaking 5 years. Time to come home. We did. We had to push that up on the car carrier.
Jesus.
Bro, I'm going to say, it was much easier. I'm going to say this. It was easier to do that than it was those friggin' couch. The couch was brutal.
Yeah, the couch was brutal. The couch was brutal because we got the car transporter.
Yeah.
Instead of a flatbed.
God, we're ridiculous. Put a piece of friggin' board down.
We strapped the plywood, a piece of plywood across the car carrier.
Oh, God. So everybody listening, that's who we are, folks. That's us.
I was driving that trailer, and everybody that was passing us, everybody was keeping at least 100 feet distance between me and
no kidding. Shit was barely on there. I don't even know. We used a car carrier to move a couch. Come on. Who does that crap? With a friggin'
We do.
I know, with plywood.
Bungee corded down plywood.
Bungeed and plywooded. Wow. That was, hey, you know what? We got her done. And
we got her done.
That's all that mattered. And yes, I'm pretty sore, and I didn't even do most of the work, but appreciate you.
I don't think I could move yesterday. Robot man.
Oh, God. Good stuff.
All right. Well, speaking of not moving, I've got to start off with a little college football, if that's all right.
Okay.
Because college football, a lot of things happened this weekend.
It did.
For sure. Now, speaking of not moving, Big G, all his texts about Quinn Ewers, the dude got rolled on his ankle. He was in the locker room.
Big G's brutal.
He is brutal. My question to Big G is, where is the positivity in his life? There was none
Big G's
in those text messages.
Big G is brutal he's brutal on Ewers. I got to admit, he's brutal on them.
He's so brutal. And then when Arch comes in, he's brutal on Arch.
He is. He's just a brutal young lad. I don't know what else to say.
Got the fire in him.
But let's talk about the Texas game. Texas game was, I will say, I told you that Kentucky was going to play him tight. Kentucky is an up and down team, and they do have some.
Their defense is good.
They have a pretty good team. They're not quite good enough to beat the big boys yet, but they hung pretty good. I thought they hung pretty good there.
I think the end result, Texas kind of had everything handled. If they wouldn't have dropped the ball twice, the same running back dropped the ball twice. If they wouldn't have done that, then it would have been like much different game. Big blowout. It just wasn't that. But they still 31-15 or 31-12 or 14.
31-14.
It's pretty handled them pretty well. Covered the spread, I believe.
They did. It just if you were watching the game, it seemed closer than 31-14. But I will say the running back for Texas, is it Wisner? He's good.
Trey Wisner.
He's good, man.
He is good. He is not a number one back though. He's not.
He's still good though. He ran for 158. He did a good. They have a good like 1-2 punch though with him and Blue.
But think about this. What if you replaced Wisner with CJ Baxter? Where would this team be right now if CJ Baxter was running the ball?
No, I
crap.
I agree. But so I think overall, I think Texas played well. They only gave up 14 points, which Kentucky can score. I mean, Kentucky is not a bad team, so I was pretty happy with the score on that one.
Kentucky cannot score. Please don't state that.
Come on, they can score. They got young guys,
fighting
man.
Brock Vandergriffs aren't going to do much, my friend.
Come on. They're just young lads. They'll get there. So that we me and then well, we're not talking about next week yet, so we'll move on from Texas.
Well, we can talk about Texas' opponent.
Let's talk about A&M. Let's talk about A&M.
What the hell happened there?
I watched that game too. I watched all the way to the end of that one, and that was actually a good game. God, that receiver at the end, though, dude, how bad do you think he feels? The ball was literally right in his hands.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, it
really
happens,
bad.
but come on, let's be honest. Should the game have been in overtime with Auburn? No, not even close.
No, and earlier this week, Elko was in. Did you see his press conference?
Mm-mm.
He said, "We're definitely not looking past our opponents this week. We want to make sure we're ready for Texas. I mean, Auburn."
Oh,
And then he went out and lost.
Yeah, that was
Boy.
that's a huge loss for him because that takes them.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it puts friggin' Georgia in the championship game already, which pisses me off.
A&M still has a path into the playoff.
They have to win next week, right?
They beat Texas. They end up in the SEC championship.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're in
Georgia,
the SEC championship.
They're in.
Yeah, but they're not going to beat Texas. Although you know what? I'm going to say,
don't say that.
A&M doesn't look as good as I thought they were. That's the first time I actually watched a full game. I wasn't that impressed with them. They have a young team. Their quarterback's young. He's pretty good, but it's a big game going in against Texas, and having young freshman dudes. I don't know. I think Texas is going to do something here. I hope.
Yeah, but Texas has a hard time with running quarterbacks.
Yeah, but
and Marcel Reed is a running quarterback.
We'll see. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a
very good game.
What day is that on? Is that like Friday or is that on
Thursday? Saturday night game. Okay. That is the late night game. It is going to be there. We're going to see some things on TV we probably never wanted to see from the A&M fans. That late in the day for the biggest rival they have, reestablishing it after 13 years.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, they get rowdy up there. That's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a fun one to watch. Get your popcorn out. I like it.
Texas needs to come out and quiet them up immediately, like fast. This slow start shit will not work. They let them hang around and keep the crowd in it. It's over. Like Texas will not win that game.
So what's the status of yours? I know he hurt his ankle. Is he in or?
He'll be good. Yeah, he'll be good. Yep.
All right. Big G, he's in. We have to tell Big G he's in.
That's right. He'll. I will give Big G this. He does. Ewers underthrows a few because he throws off his back foot. This past weekend, he had no front foot. He had no ankle.
Yeah.
So they slowed the game down and ran the ball down Kentucky's throat for a while, which was awesome to see.
Well, they did. Did you? I got to be honest. I really thought they were going to pull him there because they were ahead far enough that they didn't need to leave him. I didn't think. But the game was actually closer than score. So I get leaving him in. But I thought maybe they'd pull him there because he couldn't move in the pocket at all.
No, not at all. So.
All
right. So A&M getting upset, that's huge. But that also puts like a wounded animal in a corner for Texas to walk into. So we'll see. We'll see
We'll see.
It'd be pretty rough.
I mean, this last weekend was a lot of upsets. Seemed like a big upset weekend, but I think Texas handles them next week. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say they beat them by at least 10. I just think Texas is going to walk away from them here. My prediction. Bunk's prediction.
Okay. I think it's going to be very tight the whole game.
Maybe.
I think Texas pulls it off at the end, but I think
Texas defense is much better than Auburn's. And
right.
I mean, honestly, Auburn's not a good team. Let's be honest. They're just not a good team. And I mean, for them to upset them and score 40 friggin' some points on them, come on, that's kind of the thing that I'm thinking about. They scored a lot of points on A&M's defense.
Yeah, they did. For sure. So we'll see. I mean, it's the game of the week. That's where game day's at. There's a lot around it.
Yep.
But you know what game's not getting as much coverage that should? I get that Texas and A&M is big. But how important is that South Carolina-Clemson game?
That's a big game. And South Carolina is coming on strong, man. And so is Clemson. You know what? I talked a lot of crap about the old Diva Ruski there, but they've come back, and Klubnik, their quarterback, has actually done really well. So that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a very physical, good game, I think, to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to play each other really tight. I honestly think South Carolina wins that game, but Clemson has been on a roll.
I gotta. You know what? The only reason I'm going with South Carolina because I just think they're more physical. I've seen them play, and those dudes, their defense is friggin'. They're good, man, and their quarterback's good. So I think it's gonna be a really close game. I think South Carolina wins it, but I would not be surprised if Clemson does come in and win it. They've played really well. I got to give credit where credit's due on that one.
They have. Klubnik's been playing well.
He has. He's played really well. So what big disappointment of the week was Ohio State just ramming it up Indiana's boo-hoo there. It was a boo-hoo ramming up the boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo ramming.
They ran that train right up the boo-hoo on them.
Oh, my God. Stop saying it.
That wasn't even it was not even close, man. Very disappointing. No. I was disappointed.
It was the first half was very close.
Yeah, but Indiana just never got it going. They came out of the gates with a score, and then literally that was it. They made a lot of mistakes, a lot of stuff they don't normally do. So I still believe they should be a playoff team if they win.
That was my next question. Do you think?
Oh yeah,
they're a playoff team?
Absolutely, I do.
So okay. So what are their signature wins to boost the resume?
Well, they didn't beat Ohio State. That's for dang sure. Well, I don't know, but there's 10-1 in the Big Ten is friggin' pretty good, man. 7-1 in the Big Ten.
But what team? But okay. But here's they played Nebraska. Okay. They played the bottom half of the Big Ten. UCLA, Maryland, Northwestern, Nebraska, Washington, Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, Purdue.
Well, and they're going to beat the crap out of Purdue, right? So they're going to be 11-1.
Yeah, and a Big Ten team. So yes, I do.
It is a Big Ten. Nebraska, you know what? They beat Nebraska 56-7. So you got to give them that. Washington's not horrific. I mean, and Michigan's Michigan. I mean, you got to give them some credit, but I agree. They haven't played like the big boys. They didn't play Penn State. I don't know how they do against Penn State. That would actually be a really good game.
Yeah, that would be a good game.
I think that would be a good game. But you know what? If you're 11-1, come on, man. You got to be in the friggin' playoffs.
It's okay. So here's the question. I think they're in the playoffs too. But my question is, are they going to get a home field bye, or are they going to get punished and have to travel?
No, they got to travel. Got to travel.
But if they end up having to travel to like Bama, what is that selling everybody?
Come on. Bama got beat. We're not talking about Bama here. They're out. Gone. Oklahoma kicked their ass.
Yeah, they kicked the shit out of them. That was crazy.
I'm not an Oklahoma fan, obviously, but they beat the absolute shit out of Alabama. That was amazing.
That's just, that team is so up and down, that Alabama team. They kind of goes how Jalen Milroe goes is the way the team goes. If he has a bad game, they lose.
They should not even. I know they're going. I know they're going to keep him. Well, you know what? The CFP rankings come out tomorrow, so I don't care about what AP does. AP can do what they want. There's no way.
AP has them out right now.
There's no way an 8-3, 4-3 in the SEC team should be even close to a playoff team. I'm sorry, I don't care who they are, and they're not good enough. They got, man. Arnold ran all over those dudes, and they knew he was running because he sucks as a friggin' passer. They knew he was running,
throwing the ball.
Could not stop him. So, to me, they're out. If they get in, then something's friggin' rigged. I'm going to be honest with you. There's no way. I don't care what they do. No, 3 losses.
They're at 13.
God.
Would you put a 3-loss Ole Miss in over a 3-loss Alabama?
I would. I think Ole Miss is better than Alabama. I mean,
here's the scenario. South Carolina beats Clemson. There are 3 losses.
I think South Carolina's a better team.
Both of them?
You know, I think that's close. It's going to be close, I think, between South Carolina is kind of trending up. Ole Miss, they were bad. That was a bad game. They sucked. I mean, they just didn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were not good.
They didn't look good. And come on, Florida beat them. Florida's doing better, but still.
Florida's getting better.
But they're not a top-tier team.
No.
It should never have been that close.
They could be top 25 next year.
Yeah, I agree. So right now I'm a South Carolina fan. I think if they keep winning, they should be in.
Here's my prediction. None of those teams make it. I think only 3 SEC teams are going to make it. Texas, Georgia, Tennessee.
That's possible. I could see that. I mean, Tennessee, I think you got to definitely consider in there. Who do you think's in the SEC title? Who's in the SEC title game?
Texas beats A&M. It's Georgia, Texas.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Friggin' Georgia. They don't go away.
Honestly, I think Sark, with one game playing them and having time to prepare for it, I think Sark wins that game. And I think we don't have this conversation anymore. I think Georgia drops down. They're going to end up in the playoff either way. If you play in that title game, I think if you play in the Big Ten title game or the SEC title game, both teams are going to make the playoff.
I agree. I agree with you. But that could potentially get Tennessee out if Tennessee is obviously not going to be in the title game.
They've got to win out and hope Texas loses. No, I mean, if Texas loses, then A&M's in.
I mean,
I don't think Tennessee can make the title.
Tennessee, they play not that Vanderbilt can't upset them, but that's all they got left is Vandy. So
yeah,
I know a lot to be determined yet.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. This is fun.
So
it could be Georgia, Tennessee if Texas loses this game. So
it could be.
We'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have to happen. My greatest, most funnest game was Kansas beating the absolute shit out of Colorado.
They did. It was handily. That was an ass whooping.
You know what it finally exposed? It finally exposed that a team that has speed can actually just keep up with because Colorado has the speed. They have the receivers that can run, but Kansas that Neal ran all over him, 200 and some yards.
Neal ran and Jalen Daniels was making plays left and right too.
And you know what? That's the kind of team I think finally you can see Colorado got exposed. So I was thrilled that they got beat. But then who gets beat in the friggin' Big 12? It's like BYU. BYU gets beat by Arizona State. So, I mean...
And that puts Arizona State in the driver's seat for the Big 12.
I know. And
Arizona State could be in the playoff.
And Colorado's still hanging. I mean, Jesus.
No, they don't have a chance in. They don't have a chance
to get into the title game?
The Big 12 title game.
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
I mean, they play Oklahoma State next, who is horribly bad.
So let's take a look. So they would have to.
I think you're right. Losses. Yeah, I think you're right.
Iowa State would have to lose.
I got
BYU has to lose.
And I got you. Okay, that
one
does
of those
kick
three
them out.
have to lose. Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
I think we don't have to worry about Colorado.
Thank God. Thank God. I want to see that shit in the friggin' playoffs. God dang, man.
Tulane making a run here might be one of the higher seeded.
Tulane's up there. Got Boise. They're 10-1.
I honestly think Boise's getting a bye. Boise's gonna win out. They're gonna get the bye game.
They're in the Mountain West.
The 4th seed. I know, but it's the 4 highest seeded conference champions, not Power 4. Any 4 highest seeded conference champions. Big 10. Who they're going to be in, right? Oregon or Ohio State. SEC is going to be one of them. ACC probably going to be one of them. Big 12's not, though.
No.
I think Boise gets that fourth spot. They get a bye.
So here's interesting. So Boise's been played. I'll tell you, they play Oregon State next, and Oregon State is not a bad team. I think they're going to have to make sure they win that game if they want to keep rolling here.
Ashton Genty had to sit out for like an extended period of time and still had 170 yards yesterday.
I know. Yeah, I watched him run.
I don't think he was stopping him.
That dude can run, man. He's good.
He's so really good.
Yeah.
Even every time I think, oh man, they got him. He's not down. He's never down.
The Oregon State game's gonna be good. Oregon State's I'm telling you, they're not a bad team, and they can definitely pull some upsets. I like that. That's gonna be a good one. Iowa State.
It is.
God, Utah. How much of a shit is Utah? They're 4-7.
They're bad.
They got to like retool.
I mean, they're already talking. Whittingham's already saying, "I'll reassess my job after." He might be done.
Oh, I don't think he's the issue. I mean, he's a great coach, but you know what? I don't know I honestly don't know what the issue is, but I think he's a really good coach. Maybe he just says that because he wants to move on. I like these guys when they're getting tired. I better reassess so I can go get another contract somewhere else. God.
Yeah,
he's a good coach though.
Can you imagine him at a bigger school? He's able to recruit really well at Utah. I can't imagine how well he could recruit at like a Penn State. He's like perfect for that job.
Yeah, he's really good.
Defensive-minded guy.
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. And then you got the team that's from nobody even talks about, SMU, friggin' 10-1,
I know.
Sitting atop the ACC. I mean,
the Pony Express.
They're crushing people, man.
They're really good. Great coach. Rhett Lashley is an amazing coach.
That's
going to get a huge contract somewhere.
Their only loss was to BYU by 3 points.
Okay, you're back.
I'm back, baby.
Yep. Something happened. I lost my headphones. I'm still here.
You blipped. Blipper.
Oh my God! It just changed back.
You're a blipper.
I can't figure out technical.
I can hear you. It's all that matters.
Sorry,
all that matters, brother.
I'm back.
Okay. He's back. Yeah, I think that's SMU is a little bit overlooked maybe, but they're good. They played Cal at the last game. I think they beat Cal they literally scored a bazillion points. God, they crush people. So
yeah, it's awesome to watch. They are, yes, they're very good. They're going to get a much higher ranking. In that game, them against Miami, if they can blow out Miami, God, they probably.
Is it Miami?
High seed.
Is it Miami or is it Clemson that's going to be in that game?
Miami.
Clemson's right now.
Miami only has one loss.
That's all Clemson has.
No, Clemson has 2.
No.
Clemson lost to. Yeah, they did. They lost to Louisville and they lost to.
Oh,
Georgia.
they do. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. No, in the conference. Okay, in conference, they're 7-1 now.
Right, they're 7-1 because Miami's coming off a bye.
But
Miami's going to win. Miami's going to win. They play Syracuse. They're going to win that game.
Hey,
that puts them at 7-1. Clemson's on a bye.
All right. I'll let you be. I'll let you have that.
Actually, Clemson's not a bye. They've just played all their conference games.
Okay.
They're 8 conference games.
I'll let you have that one. Jeez.
Thank you. Hey, can Georgia Tech pull off the upset this week? They play Georgia.
No, come on, Georgia. Those Tech teams. Come on, man. I'm not a Tech fan.
Georgia Tech has done good this year.
Friggin' rambling wreck from Georgia Tech. 7-4.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd love to see it.
They beat Miami.
They
beat Miami.
You know what? Okay. Let's see. So they beat Miami, NC State. They lost to Virginia Tech and Notre Dame. Okay, we're gonna talk Notre Dame here in a minute.
Yeah. They beat Florida State when they were ranked 10th.
They actually score points, so I'll give them that. We'll see. That might be a good game. What is that one? Who the hell plays on Thursday?
Friday at 6:30 p.m.
Friday is the Oregon State Boise State game as well. And then you got Oklahoma. Yeah. Oh, I know you're going to be sitting down Oklahoma State and Colorado. No, nobody cares.
Oh, yeah, I'll be watching.
Oklahoma State sucks. Mississippi State and Ole Miss. No, that's a horrible game.
No.
Georgia Tech. I'll be there. Be square.
That's Georgia Tech's a good game, man. That's a trap game there for sure.
That could be. It's one to kind of watch and then see, and then if they start pulling away, then they pull away. It's going to be over. But if they can hang tight, they might be a game. Now let's talk about. I'm going to tell you something. I think you're going to have to give Notre Dame a little more props than you've been giving them. They're pretty good. Not that Army, there was ever a doubt they were going to beat Army, but Notre Dame they've really come on here, man. I think they've played really well.
Army looked not good.
No, Army was
exposed.
Army. But they play USC here for the last game. Not that USC is great either.
No, they're not good, but they could beat them.
But
I just don't trust the
it'll be a
coach.
competitive game. But I'm telling you, Notre Dame has played really well. They've really played well.
But they don't get a bye. They always have to play one extra game.
They do. So I'm
it's like,
for them.
I mean, I think they're very good. I honestly think the committee's going to leapfrog Penn State and put Notre Dame at 4 and Penn State at 5 because Penn State played so tight with Minnesota. Who, man, PJ Fleck was rowing the boat. God, I thought he had him.
Minnesota's a good team.
Close.
Yeah, Penn State, they play Maryland last game. I mean, they're in, obviously. I mean, regardless of what happens, they're in. They got to be in, right?
If they lose to Maryland, it's
well. I mean, if they, we're assuming they beat Maryland. They beat Maryland. They're 11-1.
Yeah,
8-1 in conference. They're in. If they're in, I mean, Oregon's in, right? They're definitely in. Ohio State's in.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State's in, and then I think you say it is Indiana in. I think that's going to be the question. I think Penn State's in before Indiana, though.
I think Penn State's in before Indiana. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then, okay, Indiana's in, but do you put them at a higher seed than maybe a 2-loss Miami that lost in the conference title game to SMU?
Well, you had a good point. They actually haven't. I think their strength of schedule is going to hurt them when it comes to where they're at.
It is. And
they got crushed. I mean, there's no nice way of putting that. They got their ass kicked against Ohio State.
Yes. So, yeah.
Nice. Okay.
We'll see. Right. I think looking at that picture right now, if everybody was to win out, Oregon would be in, Ohio State would be in, Texas would be in, Penn State would be in, Notre Dame would be in, Georgia, even if they had 3 losses, probably in. Tennessee probably in.
Miami's in.
Miami and SMU, Indiana.
Boise
probably in.
Boise wins out. If they all win out, I mean, even Clemson's right. God, I would. If Clemson wins, then you have to give them the nod over Alabama. God, Alabama's just pissing me off here with this. I want to see where the CFP.
But what about Arizona? But what about Arizona State winning the Big 12?
Well, they got to be in then, right? That's an automatic.
So you'd put them in. So you'd have to put them in over Clemson and Alabama.
I guess you would, because that's automatic. Big 12 winners in.
No, it's not.
The Big 12's not an auto?
I guess the 5.
I think the Big 12
No, it's not
is.
automatic. It's the 5 highest. It's the 5 highest ranked conference champions are in. So yeah, I guess you would have to put them in.
Yeah,
but they wouldn't get a bye.
They wouldn't get a bye. But if they win, whoever wins the Big 12, come on, they got to be in. There's going to be some good teams left out. Let's be honest. There's some good teams that are not going to make it.
I honestly I think Clemson and Alabama get left out.
Possible.
Alabama's definitely getting left out.
I think it's going to be between Alabama, Clemson, honestly, and Indiana who gets left out if Boise State takes care of business. I think one of those 3 I think those guys are out. I don't know.
That's fair.
Good. Hey, it'd be fun. I only got another week left of the big stuff until the conference champions.
It's going to be good rivalry week. All sorts of things could happen this weekend.
Well, I mean, Alabama plays Auburn, right? The Iron Bowl. So friggin' Auburn's got to be pumped.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I'd love to see something there.
We'll see. It's going to play out. I can't wait to see the rankings, I guess, when this releases tonight. But for us tomorrow night. Should be very interesting, though.
Yep. Agree. All right. What else you got?
All right. I got to ask you.
Yes,
What the hell is going on in Washington and the NFL, my friend?
Oh, man, they're shit in the bed, man. Is it the Kingsbury shuffle going on there? Is it the Clifford J. Kingsbury shuffle happening over there?
That's exactly what he does.
God dang. They looked like friggin' world beaters. And now
go back.
God.
Go back and look at their schedule though. They looked like world beaters against bad teams.
Are you saying they didn't play a bad team this weekend? Good God.
No, they got blown out by a very bad team this weekend, but look at their wins. Giants, Bears, Panthers, Browns, Cardinals, Bengals, Giants.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're crushing good teams. This weekend was bad.
The Cowboys
the
beat
Cowboys
them.
ran over them.
The Cowboys suck. Come on, the Cowboys are horrible.
The Cowboys suck.
That shouldn't even have been close. That was probably one they put a big W on before the game even started, and they friggin' lost. I don't know what's going on with the Commanders. They're disappointed. They've just really, really dropped off. I don't know. I had them going in the playoffs and doing well, but the way they're going, they better be careful they make the playoffs at this point.
Yeah.
Because Boomer's team is coming up. Friggin' Boomer's team.
Yep. The Eagles look Saquon Barkley is a full-grown man. Holy crap.
He's good.
Last night was ridiculous.
God, they crushed the Rams. The Rams, okay, granted, the Rams kind of suck, but they did.
But Saquon is a monster.
255 he ran for. He's my fantasy league runner, as you know, Pick.
Oh, no, I played you this week. I know all about it, my friend. Here's what I really want to ask somebody in that Giants organization. Why did you let that guy walk? You got nothing for him.
No, well, you know what? Here's the thing, and you know I'm a Giants fan. If he stayed with the Giants, he would have been the same shit sucky back that he's been for the last 3 years because they got no line, no offense. They got nothing. So for him, this is, I think, who he always was. But when you go to the Giants, you just enter a whole new realm of nothingness. Watch friggin' the quarterbacks. He's going to go somewhere else, right? Let's see.
I would think so.
Yeah, I think from what I'm reading, there's a lot of teams interested in him. Hey, what if he goes somewhere else and he's like, shit, he's not as bad as everybody thought? I don't think he's that bad personally. I think the Giants just suck, which is horrible.
He's very bad. He has no arm. We've watched this.
I know he doesn't have an arm, but
he's like a noodle arm.
He's not as bad as it looked. I mean, come on, God, Giants are horrific. Both New York teams are they're so bad. It's hard to watch.
They're very bad.
Very bad.
They're bad in very different ways.
Yeah,
very different ways. Like the Giants are like you pull for them and you feel bad, and the Jets are just like a dumpster truck on fire flying down the highway. It's fun to watch.
Well, it's all gimmicky. Honestly, with Aaron Rodgers, at this point, he's just a gimmick, and he needs to go away. They need to you know what? They need to draft, get some actual players, and or trade, and quit with these friggin' 90-year-olds playing quarterback and shit. They're always a dumping ground for these old quarterbacks. Brett Favre went there. He went there. I mean, come on with that shit. Get somebody. We need Broadway Joe's coming back, baby.
But they've tried young too. They've tried young.
I know, but they suck at. Who did they try? Come on, who did they try? Zach Wilson? Come on. He's
Mark Sanchez.
Come on. These guys suck. Get somebody good. Well, they're going to be able to now because their record's horrific. So them and the Giants are going to be.
But those were the guys. Those were the guys in the draft that everyone's like, "This is the next, whatever."
Well, clearly they picked wrong. I don't know what to tell you. But I did read that the Jets have hired a firm, and they're going to clean house after the season. Get a new coach, new GM. I'm assuming they're going to clean house with players.
Yeah, did you read the thing that said Ryan Tannenbaum is going to have heavy influence
He's got a
on the quarterback?
Because he has a team. That's his firm. That's his company. I don't know what
Ryan
to say.
Tannenbaum.
He owns a company that does that, man. Anyway, they're shit. Just absolute shite. Now, on the other side of the coin, the Lions are kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah, they're great.
Really good team.
Them and the Chiefs. Put them and the Chiefs against each other. That's going to be a good game.
That is going to be a good game. Chiefs are literally squeaking by. They're 10-1, but they're squeaking by.
But they're 10-1.
But they are 10-1. You got to give that to them. And how about the Panthers? What the hell? Who jolted them into life?
Yeah, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young's looking good. Looking better.
Yeah, they only have 3 wins still, but still, they look better.
I mean, scored 27 points. Come on. Before he got benched, they scored like 3 points a game. So I think that's great, man.
Yes, they're 3-8 still, so I'm not going to get that optimistic about them.
No, I'm not saying like, but they're competitive. They were not competitive prior to that.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
let's be honest.
That
And
whole
then
division is trash this year.
yeah, it's not a good one. Not a good one.
Tampa's fallen off the face of the earth. Atlanta's going to win it.
Atlanta's bad. Well, they're bad. God.
They're going to win. They're going to win the division, though.
I know, but they're bad. They're a bad team. I'm sorry. Are they going to stick with Kirk? You think they're going to bench him? I hope
They
not.
gave him multiple years on a pretty big contract. I think you kind of got to stick with him.
I think you got to stick with
Unless
them.
you're willing to just drop them.
And they are in first place. They're just 6-5, but they are in first place.
Yeah, they're 6-5.
First place. Tampa Bay is 5-6. New Orleans, horrific. Carolina's horrific. I mean,
horrific.
They're bad. They got some bad teams. And I'll tell you, to the team that's in first place in their division, who's heading down, is friggin' Texans. What happened to them?
Yeah, man, they looked real bad yesterday.
They don't look good. They've lost a few. I mean, they're not looking good. I got to be honest with you.
It feels like C.J. Stroud's trying to be superhuman.
Maybe
he's trying to make like the perfect play every play instead of just taking what the defense gives him.
Well, even their defense though is giving up points, which is unusual.
They are.
That's unusual.
And I wonder if that made him feel the pressure.
Maybe
to become Mahomes.
Maybe. There's some definitely teams.
One Patrick Mahomes.
There is only one. There's teams that are kind of trending up, and there's a lot of teams trending down. I mean, the Dolphins are, now that Tua is back, they're trending up, but are they too far gone? Have they already lost too many games? Maybe not.
They're not going to catch Buffalo, but will they get a wild card spot?
Yeah, they're going for a wild card. I mean, I think they're trending up. The who else? The Chargers are still, they're 7-3. And that's crazy to me. I mean, I love the Chargers, but I don't think they're that great. Commanders are trending down, obviously. The Vikings, I don't know what the hell the Vikings are doing. They're like
they should have traded for a quarterback.
They're 9-2, but I would have no confidence that when they get in the playoffs, they're going to beat anybody. Just to be honest with you, I just don't.
That's very fair.
I mean, the Packers are kind of the same way. I think they're okay. They have a great record, but I don't think they're that great of a team. And then down the NFC West, you got the Seahawks at 6-5, the Cardinals at 6-5, leading the conference. And San Francisco's done.
That one's rough.
San Francisco's done. The Rams are done. Those. I mean, they're only one game. Okay, I say that they're only one game out, which is ridiculous. Because if I'm picking a team there,
without Purdy in.
Oh no, I know.
San Francisco's not going to.
Seattle and Arizona are right now better teams than those two teams, but they're not great teams, and they could definitely take some losses and be out of it. That one's going to be a crazy.
Yeah, that'll change quickly.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. Me likey.
We shall see. All right. So with that, who's going to get the number one pick?
Oh gosh,
the Giants or the Raiders or the Jaguars?
I think you know what. I don't think the Giants are going to win any games. I think they're done winning for the year.
You think they told Cutlets? They said, "Hey, bud, you better not win any of these."
I mean, just the fact that he's quarterbacking, you got to think they're definitely tanking. I think the Raiders. Hey, they lost their quarterback this weekend too. Minshew got a broken collarbone.
Yep.
They're a bad team. But they may eke out. I could see them eking a win. I think Jacksonville, if Trevor Lawrence comes back, I think could get another win or two. I honestly don't see the Giants winning again. And even the Jets could probably somehow beat somebody. And they're at 3 wins. I think the Giants are number one pick. I think they get the number one pick, sadly.
Oh my God. Are they going to go after Shador then?
I sure hope so. I hope they get all that whole friggin' clown show that goes with it.
It is not going to be. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, I mean, although they could go with Cam Ward. I mean, Ward's probably projected as a better quarterback. I don't know.
I think he's a better quarterback.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do too. I would think he would be, honestly, he would be a much better fit for the Giants just because of the way he plays and the way they play. Shadur's not, he's not a good fit. Giants they just don't do that running quarterback crap and moving around guys. And I know Shadur doesn't run, but he moves around a lot more than any quarterbacks they ever get. And then that would put Shadur at
the Raiders.
Oh, God, the Raiders. It would put him in the Raiders. I love it. I hope he does go to the friggin'
That would put him at the
graveyard.
Raiders.
He'd be a graveyard out there. I think the Panthers are 3-8. I think the Giants don't win again, and the Raiders possibly don't win again. I don't know who they got on their schedule, but they're bad, man. Well, they have the Chiefs. Okay, they have the Chiefs. They're not winning. Buccaneers not beating them. Falcons they can't beat. So they play the Jags. So somebody's got to win that game, right? Yes. I mean, right? So somebody gets the 3 wins. The Saints, I don't think they can win, and the Chargers they can't win. So I think they're only one shot at winning for both them and probably the Jags are going to be when they play each other, and one of them is going to. I think the Jaguars are a better team.
The toilet bowl.
God, think about it. I mean, so they're definitely not even going to come close to the Chiefs, the Bucks, the Falcons. I mean, that's not even going to be a game. So, good.
Okay. So here's a question for you, just talking about draft talk here. I think McCarthy's done in Dallas.
Oh, I think he's done. I think he's done.
Does Dallas trade up to take Shador at some point higher in the draft to make a package deal, and Deion Sanders is also their new head football coach?
I don't think so. I think they just signed Dak to a friggin' boatload of money. And Dak's a good quarterback. I don't see them moving on from him. Not for him. Not for those guys. I don't think they move on from him for anybody that's coming out this year. I think maybe the next year, possibly, if he doesn't, perform. But I don't see that happening this year. And I just don't see Deion. God. Can you imagine Deion with friggin' that team? I just can't even imagine it. And he said, hey, he said he put his kickstand down. He ain't going anywhere. You got to give him some good. That dude comes up with some really cool shit to say. Put my kickstand down.
Yeah. Did you see what we were intoxicated with success? That's why we lost. Said they lost.
The guy's a friggin'. You know what? He comes up with the best things to say. I'm going to give him that. And I don't. Probably not a bad coach. I don't know what he is or isn't, but. It's a clown show. That's what I don't like about any of it. It's all a show instead of just playing the game. I don't think he goes to Dallas. I think, well, hey, did you see who the Jets now, who's lobbying to be the Jets coach?
Rex Ryan.
On
that
air.
Would be awesome.
On air. You know what? They need somebody who's tough.
And he got the 2 conference championships.
But they need somebody who's just a little tougher than the guys they've had. I think that would be. I mean, I hate to say it. I think that would be a good fit for them.
I do too.
I
do too.
They can bring his brother in too.
Stand for it. Though.
No, Rodgers done. He's not a Jet next year. Somebody will sign. Somebody's going to sign him.
Said he's going to be.
He's not. He's done. But he will play somewhere. Can you imagine who the hell's going to sign him? I mean, he could end. Let's speculate.
I know who. I know who would.
The
make
Raiders
a move like that. The Saints.
The Saints have a good quarterback. He's good. There's nothing wrong with Carr. Nah, I don't think Carr. I think he's okay. Saints.
No, I can see the Saints.
Raiders.
I can see Indianapolis. Indianapolis making a move.
Okay, maybe Indianapolis. I possibly see. They like old guys there. I can see that. He's not going to be a Jet.
Oh, would Chicago do the funniest thing in the world?
God, no. That would be ridiculous.
He might go to the Giants.
No. God, they're not. I think the New York teams are done with him. I think he could possibly go to the Raiders. I think that would be a possibility.
God, you know that owner out there would do it.
I do know that. That's why I'm saying I think they would take they could draft a young guy. They could have Rodgers quarterback for 1 year, let the young dude sit behind him. And God, it can't be worse than what they have. They're
They
bad.
better draft an offensive line too. Then.
Well, yeah. I hope he just retires and goes on a dark retreat or whatever he does with his hibucha or whatever the hell he drinks.
Hibucha.
I don't know what he drinks. He drinks some.
No, unpack this. I want to hear it. Hibucha. It's not that. What's
hibucha.
the next guess?
Acacia. Asia. The frig is that stuff called? Acha. I don't know what it is.
Ayahuasca.
I don't know.
Acacia.
Stupid shit. You drinking idiot.
Acacia.
I don't know. Ay, caramba. All right. Hey, the NFL's been fun this year. I'm enjoying watching it, and I enjoyed especially just beating your ass hard this week in fantasy football. Hard ass beating.
Oh, gross.
I beat that boo hard this weekend, dog.
Whoa. All right. Let's stop record. We're going to have a few words, my friend. A little bit much.
All right, where are we going next? Pick.
I mean, those are the big sports at the moment.
Those are the big
Basketball's
sports.
kind of going. Texas basketball's looked pretty good so far.
I haven't gotten into it yet. I have not gotten into it yet. I'm still
hard to get into it when it's this early.
I'm still in the football mode. Football's full bore right now. Nothing really going on in the baseball world. It's all just nothing's going to happen for a little while. I don't think
We're just waiting. Yeah, baseball is just waiting. We did get the MVP announced. I think it was obvious who's going to win MVP, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. Rookies of the year were
that was a surprise.
And Gil.
Skeens. I will say this: Skeens surprised me. I thought one of the Jacksons was going to win it. I thought one of the Jacksons should win it. To be honest with you, but
I think Churio should have won it.
Skeens good. I mean, you can't. What are you going to say?
Skeens is good.
He did well.
He is good. Managers of the year. Luke Voigt.
Luke Voigt.
And then who else? No, it was Vogt.
I know.
Not Luke Voigt's
Luke
card.
Voigt's a friggin' old first baseman for the Yankees. Vogt and who was the other one? Shit, I can't remember.
It was.
Do you remember who it was?
Oh, was it the Dodgers coach?
No, it wasn't the Dodgers coach. Son of a bitch, who was it?
Okay, so here's my question on that. Actually, I do got a bone to pick with that.
Okay.
How is AJ Hinch not the winner of American League Coach of the Year?
I agree. I agree. And that's a team that nobody thought was going to do anything. I thought he should have.
How the hell did he get left off? I think that was the biggest friggin' snub this year. I think it was obvious Ohtani. It was obvious Judge. Rookies of the year is down to only a few guys. Cy Young, pretty straightforward.
So the managers were Vogt and the Brewers Pat Murphy, which I'm sorry, dude. I agree with you. There's no way that Hinch shouldn't have gotten that. I mean, he totally remade the team, even like mid-season.
Yeah. He got rid of big money too. He
did.
Sat big money, which was ballsy move.
No, I agree. But yeah, baseball's she's winding down.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait. I don't think anything's going to happen with any signings till maybe January. Any of the big
honestly,
signings.
probably further. I think it's going to be closer to spring training.
That could be.
I think Boris has most of these guys.
He does.
And what Scott Boris has always done is push it to the last very minute.
Yep.
I think it's going to be well into spring training. We're going to, like late February, we're going to see these guys still not signed.
I agree with you. So we're not much there.
I think your Yankees are going to end up with Soto.
You do think he will?
I do.
Yeah, I've heard. So I've read that they made a really. I'll give him this. I think they made a pitch. They threw money out there. I think it's going to be up to him. Do you want to play I don't know the other teams. There's some other teams in the mix. They're all winning teams. So it's really, where do you want to be for the next, 7, 8, 9 years? Because I know they sign the 15-year contracts, but nobody's staying. He ain't staying 15 years, I don't think.
No, and if they structure it like Ohtani's, they'll just be back end heavy, and they're paying him a ton later on.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to depend on where he wants to play. I mean, that's really. And I've heard unlike most of them, he's not a West Coast guy. He would rather be on the East Coast. So, it might be between the Yankees and the Mets, but I mean, the Mets are. I would say this: I am a huge Yankee fan, obviously, but the Yankees are more consistent than the Mets, and I like the Mets too. But they can have some shit years, and then they have a good year, and then they have a shit year. The Yankees at least stay fairly consistent with their records and players.
They do. They're always in the hunt to make the postseason, even when they miss it.
Right.
They're never last place.
So to me, you would be better served being on Yankee, or I think Boston might be in the mix, believe it or not, and I'm sure the Dodgers and the Pods are in the mix too, and he played for them, so he's played for the Padres, so he knows what's there. At
this point, he's made so much money in his career that I think the number that they're trying to get for him is more of just to set the market for other guys, more so than he's made a lot of money already on the contracts he's had. I would personally go where I know I have a chance to win a title. Yeah,
that's kind of where, I think that's what it's going to come down to. I'm sure the money's all going to be really close. And there may be somebody to give you, come on, let's be honest. At that point, a few million's not, good God, that doesn't make a difference. And I guess you can look at taxes paid or some shit. But those guys, they know how to get around all that crap. They have all those people dealing with all that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, but I don't think he's making any decision anytime soon. I'd be surprised if he does.
No, he's not.
All right.
That's all I got for baseball.
That's all I got.
We're in the action of the fun part of football. Basketball's just kind of going, so I don't really have much to talk about there. Nope. Hockey's been kind of consistent this year, which is strange. There hasn't been a lot of movement. So.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, most of the news right now is football, and that's what we're here for. We're the news guys.
Yes,
we are now. I just proclaimed us the news guys.
All right. Oh boy.
All right.
Yikes. All righty.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening in. If you enjoyed it, as always, give us likes, ratings, however you want to do it. Check out our social media pages, Instagram, X. I think it's out there somewhere. Who knows? and we'll soon be to YouTube. We're going to start working on that in the coming years.
We are. That's going to be fun. We're going to get some video.
Getting that going. But yeah, if you have any questions for us, email them in to the Bunk and Pick podcast at gmail.com. And if got nothing else there, Bunk?
I got nothing else. Hit that boo button for us. Get that boo button going. It's a boo button. We're going to call it the boo button.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I know.
You gobbled at the top of the show and then boo buttoned us at the end. Dear Lord Almighty! Everyone have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. All right, let's take her home. We'll see you guys next time. Till then, we'll be rolling balls. Hit that boo button.
Hit that boo button.